Hi and welcome to this screencast. In the previous screencast I explained a little about METS and XForms. Here is an XForms I created for submitting METS to one web service. So in this screencast I'll explain in detail to you how you can create such web service using REST and Ruby on Rails. We are going to open the METS file. This is the XForms file, and here you can see the model, a little bind that gives a bug when saving, so I'm going to take it off, and the save the model. We use this, so I'm going to replace it with my actual home directory so that I can save one and show it to you. Okay, we save it. Now we have to refresh it, of course. We make some student ID. We make a name, then put an email. And now we add a file, any file will do, and save it. Okay, it's saved. I'm going to show it. Okay, here it is, the data store XML file, which I'm going to open in TextEdit. As you can see, it created a METS for us with the agent and the base x64 of the document I provided. Okay, now we need to go to the console, but before we do that, I have to tell you that I already ran all the DB2 commands prior to this screencast to save time. So you need to do DB2 start. This won't work for me because the database manager is already active. Then you need to create the skeleton of our REST web service by creating this, and it creates a skeleton. Now you enter it. And as you know, the first thing you need to do on Rails is change the config database.yaml file. So let's go to it. Okay, it's using SQLite, but we want to use IBM DB, so we need to state that here. The adapter is IBM DB. The database is this one, which I have already created. The schema is this one, which I've already created as well. Username, some user, it's your username on DB2, and password, it's your secret to keep. Okay, now we can save the file and exit, WQ. And now you need to go to DB2 and create the database and the schema you stated, and you can do that by pressing DB2, and then here you can create database DB using code set UTF-8 territory English US. Okay, you need to enter this, and then it would take a little time. You could connect to that database, and then you could create a schema you stated. Schema. And that would be all for DB2. Okay, so now we need to create a model, and to do that in Rails you simply script generate model named METS, and you state that the only column you want is a document column that is an XML format. So enter, and we will create the model for you. Now you need to do two things with this model. First, you need to change the migration file. Normally you wouldn't, but you need to do this because IBM DB does not support sexy migrations yet. So this is a sexy migration. says TXML, but you have to use the old style like this. State that it's an XML and say can't be null. What's the use of storing METS if it's null, right? Okay, now you exit and you save it. And before you execute this migration, you need to edit the user model. So vim app model. You don't need to, but I'm going to. Sorry. Vim app mets.rb. Okay. And this file, we state that it's not null, so it validates presence of documents, so that Rails knows that it should fail if no document is present. You save it and exit. Okay. Now I'm going to show you the XForms files and show you a little of where it's going to post. Okay, it's going to, when it's sending the document submit, it will post to localhost, okay, my computer, to mets.xml, which will use method post, right? Okay, now we need to tell Rails how it's going to handle this post request. And to do that, well, first let me show you the rake routes. Okay, this is the default routes on Ruby on Rails. It's quite old. Okay, so normally it gets something called a controller, which I haven't created yet, so I think it's better if I create a controller. This would map the controller action ID. That's not in REST format. We want to use REST format, so let's simply script generates controller METS. Quite easy. And now we need to make these routes RESTful. And how do we do that? Well, we have to change one file. Config routes.rb. And here are the two routes you saw earlier. Okay, we need new, so we're going to use this map.resources METS. Okay, that's all. You simply save it and Rails will do the magic for us, and we can see it here, rake routes. Okay, and now we have a series of routes that are RESTful. As you can see, when you post to mets.format.xml, it will execute controller METS, which we have created, and action create. So the next step is to create an action called create. Let's do it. So let's open the controller using get it, and now we need to create a new action called create. So we simply def create, and so what does this action need to do? Well, it needs to create a new METS document, a new METS. There you go. And now we need to state that the document is the request body readlines.join. Okay, readlines and join is basically because the body is an IO string, so you need to do this to get it to work. Now you have to state if it's okay. I'm going to do this because I needed to use it in my view. My view will check this okay to render the response to the request. So mets.save, and this is the error message. It should display if it's an error occur. Okay, equals save. That's it. We can now save it. And now we need to create a view for this. And to do that, we simply get it apps.views.mets, and now that's stupid. create, and now we put .xml because it's for handling in XML format as I showed you in the roots, and .builder. Builder is the gem that will take care of creating the XML for us. I will use builder. I will show you right now. Okay, here it is. And now you can XML instruct XML. You have to say the version of the document. It's 1.0. And the encoding, it's UTF-8. Now, I'm using builder syntax to build a response. So we make a response. If it's okay, we define this in the controller, if you recall. XML status, okay, else. XML status, not okay. XML.message message and okay, we can save this file, and now I'm going to show you this working. You ready for it? We'll do that, but first we need to do the migration. Oh, comma is missing here. Save it. And now we break DB migrate, which we have forgotten when creating our model. And now I think we are ready to start a server. Okay, script server. So let's submit something using our XForms. Oh, nice. It already has some data. I'm going to add another user. Okay. It's John 2. No mail. You're a cheater, John. So let's go, and now we submit to localhost, and there we go. We got the OK response, and we can check out the XQL, okay, that was executed in DB2. It was set schema, and then it inserted into METS these fields. That's really great. It seems to work. We're happy, so let's move on to the next stage. Okay, so probably now we need to list the submitted documents to provide them as a web service. So the first thing we need to do is check out on the roots how Rails does that. So when a get is made, what does it do? Give? So, and here it is. A get is made in some format. It renders controller METS, of course, an action index. So we need to change it to make it render what we want. To do so, okay, we have to open the controller. Controllers, METS controller, okay, here it is, and create a new action, def index. Okay, there's no way index can fail. The only thing you can do is return no documents if the database is empty. So we do METS equals METS.find all. Well, that's not very prudent, but it's just a demonstration, so no problem with this. We save the document and we go back to our console. And in our console we need to create a view for this action. So we do apps, views, METS, and now we do index.xml.builder. I'm not going to tell you about builder again. I'm just going to open it. We need to instruct it. That's to create basic XML stuff. XML, and now we say check the version, it's still 1.0. Damn typos. And now we state encoding, it's simply ETF8, okay. Now XML response, do. XML status, it's always okay. Now XML the collection, do. For M in METS, that's a for each for all you Java guys. For M in METS, okay. Now that's a collection item, do. XML.id m.id and XML.data, do. We need to put the data inside the CData section so it doesn't render it as an XML format. And to do that, we do XML CData m.document. And now this ends. We end this. And we end this. Ends and ends. Okay. This should work, so let's try it. Go to the XForms. Oh, not this one, this XForms. And as you can see, it's in METS.xml, but it was a post. Now we're going to make a request, a GET request, and we simply do that by pressing enter. And it will show us all the collection items. Here it is with ID 100, it's the one we just inserted. Okay, the SQL in this one is really easy, it's just a select all. There it is. That's all there is to it, so on to the next step. Okay, now on to showing a specific document. Okay, once again we need to change the METS controller and make a def show. I could show you in the root, but you already know how to do that, to learn how Rails handles the request. So do METS, it's equals METS, so it finds by ID and you give him the params ID. You can check it out on the roots. And now if it fails, the message will be wrong ID. It means the ID is not existent in the database. Okay, so we close it, and now we need to create our view for this. To change this here and make show. And show is not complicated. Instructs XML. Damn commas. I hate you, comma. Okay, version 1.0, comma, encoding, as always, UTF-8. Now the XML response, do. If that's METS.blank, XML status not okay. XML message and XML param, the ID params ID. Okay, params ID. Else it worked. So we XML status okay. We XML.METS document. Okay, this is the document retrieved too. We have to put it in the CData section, as I told you before. Okay, METS.document. That's great. And we end the if and we end the response. Okay, this will work as the old. Let me just show you. So now we need to Okay, METS, and now you give the number 1.xml. That doesn't exist, only the 100 exists, so wrong ID, the param was 1. You need to give them one that exists, like 100. There you go, status okay. Let's show you the console and the SQL. It's quite cool to look at. There you go, the select. It's the same select, only the response is different. So, there you go. Onto the destroy action. Onto the destroy. I won't show you destroy using REST because I won't be performing a delete. That will make me have to do another client to make a delete request, and well, that's just too much work. Instead, I'm going to use normal rake routes to perform the delete action. So you can see it, but if you develop a client, you can use the RESTful way. So rake routes. Here is the RESTful way. Make a delete to mets.id in format XML, of course. In this case, it's a web service returning XML and handling XML. But I'm going to use this as METS, destroy, and the ID. This is just easy because I can put it in Firefox and work. So let's change our controller. Okay. Destroy has the most complicated code, but it's the easiest view. Def destroy. Okay. And what is a destroy? Okay, first we need to find a document. Find by ID, passing params, ID, right? So in the roots. Now we need to see if it's blank to identify a possible cause of error message. Wrong ID. Okay, false. Else, the message needs to be set to destroy failed, and we can set the key okay to simply mets.destroy. Okay, we end it and we end the method, and that's pretty much it. Oh, that's one end too much. Let's go. And now we need to edit the destroy.view. So to do that, we need to open it. Okay. Destroy XML builder. That's okay. And now simply make the view. XML instruct once again. XML version 1.0, comma. What's my problem with commas, right? I don't know. UTF-8. I have a problem with commas. Okay, XML response. That's easy. Easy code. If okay, XML status. Okay, you destroyed the item. Else, you haven't destroyed the item. That sucks, but you need to tell the user why. So XML status, not okay. XML message. So harder coding in the controller, easier in the view, right? You end and you end. That's it. Now let's just destroy one and show it in Firefox. We have to destroy the 100th because that's the only one that exists. Destroy. Okay, now if you try again, not okay, it doesn't exist. And to prove that to you, I'm not joking, XML, and it's empty collection. So that's about all. I hope you have enjoyed this screencast and come back for another one. I'm thinking of making a more advanced one using some pure XML features from DB2. That will be cool because we will be able to make something like METS as an agent. I'm going to show you in the METS. Okay. We open it, so as you can see, METS as an agent and has file groups. Okay, but it has an agent. So For each agent, you can imagine me making something like this: METS.1, and this is to get the first METS document, and then you get agents, right? And if you do that, my next screencast, you will be able to see the agents of that METS document using XPath and pure XML. That's really great, but you'll have to wait till next time. Until then, have a lot of fun and hate comas. Bye bye.